So for anyone that's unfamiliar, a very simplified and brief synopsis is certain members of Wall Street. So some people on there were legit and like really knew what they were doing. And they found out that there was an investment firm that had a very, very large short position on GameStop, which just basically means that the investment firm thought GameStop was was overvalued. And so they basically bet, hey, in this amount of time, it's going to go down and we'll be able to make money that way.
If you've seen The Big Short, they did that. What they did against mortgages, this investment company did it against GameStop.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, so these people find out on Wall Street Bets that this giant...
And Wall Street Bets is a subreddit.
Yes,
where
Wall Street
they all
Bets.
share information.
They share just nonsense.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like they'll share just screenshots of their Robinhood, which is the most insane positions you could ever see. Like, I mean, they're so funny.
Yeah.
Nice.
And it's like a culture, and like they have all of their own like
It
memes
really
and all
is
of their
a
own
whole
ways
culture.
of talking.
Yeah.
Like it's so funny.
The Shiba Inu army, the Shiba army on Reddit, it's pretty fun too. People do that shit too, and it's
yeah.
hilarious.
Yeah, it's really great.
But anyway,
So these guys in the subreddit find that this company has an absolute insane short position. So I guess without getting too complicated, basically it doesn't really make that much sense to be able to short more shares than a company has out there. And this investment firm had shorted like 3.5 times the amount of shares that were out there. Like they had a short position that was just wildly out of control. So what these guys decided to do is go on the subreddit, basically tell people about this and say, hey, let's fuck these guys.
Yeah.
Because fuck them for doing this. So everybody invest in GameStop and drive up the stock price.
Yeah.
and they have to pay a premium on that probably because they're betting against it. And so as
Right.
if it
So because the
inflates, then
investment-
they
right.
are losing.
They just get absolute. So they do it. And, obviously you probably heard GameStop stock went up to like $450 or something.
Unbelievable, yeah.
Like from 50. Like it
And
was
this exploded.
outrageous.
And I actually have this stat. I'm really glad you brought this up because the short positions, those sellers lost an estimated $23.6 billion.
Yeah.
Fucking believable.
Yeah, because when you basically a short is like kind of like saying I will buy a stock later and I'm going to pay for it now and then I'll pay the difference or get the difference later.
Yeah.
And so if it goes up, you wind up having to pay more. And so because their short position was so insane, they had so much in it. When it went up that much, they basically went bankrupt and they had to take a giant loan from a different investment capital. Now, this is where the story gets
pretty wild.
wild. So that's wild enough.
That's
just,
wild enough, for
Just
sure.
that a subreddit was able to just do this.
Regular
Yeah.
folks were able to just
Yeah.
and they probably made a lot of money because their positions rose.
Oh yeah,
You know?
like the people who like made it happen made a lot of money, and
Yeah.
the people who got in on it earlier made still a lot of money,
Mm-hmm.
and then most people got fucked because they got
Most
in
people
on
got
super late.
Yeah.
Like most people with crypto, like myself.
Right, yeah,
Correct.
same
Yeah,
deal.
got it.
And then this is where the story goes insane. So, a way that a lot of people on Wall Street Bets and just kind of like casual investors in stocks or crypto or whatever will use an app called Robinhood.
Yeah.
It's a personal investment app that bypasses like having to go through a lot of bullshit. Like, and it's
Broker
really easy to
fees
use.
and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's super intuitive. Like, it's really easy to use. Robinhood halts trading on GameStop.
Yeah.
So these people, and it gets, so you might go, oh, what? Why? Like, why would a private company, like, why would they just halt trading on it? And so people had all these theories. Turns out that one of the major investors in Robinhood, like 20% level investor.
Yeah.
I think it might be the like plurality investor, like the
Okay.
investor that has the most stake in Robinhood, was also an investor in the investment firm
Who
that
shorted
had the
it.
short
Had the
position.
short. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So GameStop, or Robinhood, in my opinion, should be sued out of existence
Yeah. 100%.
for SEC violations. I
Yeah.
mean, like, it was the most blatantly corrupt thing I've ever seen take place, like, out in the open. I mean, it was just like a lot of things happened in 2008 that were obviously corrupt.
Sure.
Like
Fucked
they're
up.
always,
Yeah.
they're always
Yeah.
the Bernie Madoffs of the world and people that do, but it's always very complicated and very under the
really
radar,
hard to follow. Yeah.
very difficult to understand and follow. And this one was just like the most blatant
Yeah.
thing.
Anybody could
Hey,
understand.
I'm
what
losing
they
money.
did.
Stop this. Okay.
Stop it.
Right.
Yeah, and they just did.
Right.
My brother actually got fucked by that.
Really?
Yeah.
A lot of people
he
got
got
fucked.
like
Because they
fucked
couldn't
hard.
cash out on their
He
positions.
couldn't
Yeah.
sell when
Yeah,
when
he
it was
couldn't.
up.
Yeah.
So when they were able to sell was probably when it had gone back down, right? Is my
Yeah,
guess
exactly.
as to how
yeah.
it unfolded.
So once it settled back down, then they opened
Oh
it up.
my god!
And it was only like a 48-hour, maybe 24, 48-hour period that it was down, or that trading on that specific
But
share
a
was
lot can
blocked.
happen in 48 hours.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That was like the whole thing.
Yeah.
Like, it's fucking wild. I agree with you. That shit's crazy.
Yeah.
Wow.
That was
Yeah.
insane.
It was fucking nuts.
But
dude.
that was
hilarious.
That's a
such
good
a
one to bring
fun
up.
and wild ride.
Such a
Dude,
fun.
that
That was